Motion 2 TV. I'm Coach Danzy, and I got a special guest with us today, and that's Devon Wimberly. He is the owner of Wimberly Athletics. He's a local product. He's from Albany. He went to Albany Academy Cadets, where he played football, basketball, track and field. Phenomenal athlete during his time. He also went to college locally too at Union College, where he was a two-time captain on the football team. And I'm excited to have Devon Wimberly, Coach Wimberly, on with us today, because he's been one of our star supporters since we started with Mojo 2. It's been going on 6 years now, and he's been one of the guys that's always been on our channel showing us support and love. And I just want to get this guy in here and talk about what he's doing now. And he's doing some fabulous things. I want everybody to know about it. Coach Wimberly, welcome aboard, man. I'm glad you're here.
Hey man, listen, if you just keep on with all them accolades, I can leave right now. I'll let you just keep running them, right? And let the people know that it's all good, man. I love that. Don't stop. You just keep going.
Yes, it's all good. It's good to have some stars in the building, I tell you that. You know what I mean?
Hey, thank you, man.
No doubt about it. Let's get started, man, with this interview. And it's not really going to be an interview. It's going to be more of a conversation, I believe. You know what I mean? There's two people that's kicking it. You know what I mean? Just talk about your sports career, starting with high school, man. And, you know, we talk about those sports you play, but I want you to go more in depth in those sports. And, you know, you lettered in. So talk to me about it.
Yeah. So over at Albany Academy, I had the opportunity to play at Academy for 4 years from 97 to 01. I started out, that opportunity began down in inner city. So that was right off of Morton Ave with Coach Cook Barrett, who was like, you know, Albany's game prevention, and also Coach Nels Gibbons. So we started out there, and a couple of people had came down, and they asked us, you know, at that time, you know, a bunch of kids from the inner city, hey, who would like to further their sports careers in another place? And both myself and my good best friend Malik Nichols both decided that this is something we wanted to try out. So we ended up at Albany Academy. There I was a varsity, what I want to say, maybe 2, 4, 3, 6, 9 years, basketball, football, and track. I loved it, man. I love that experience of getting out there and competing. It wasn't so much the competition, but how I would develop and compete versus myself. You know what I'm saying, Coach? Like how you're gonna wake up and be both an athlete and a scholar. You know, how do you manage to put both of those together, especially on a level like that of Academy, where the academics in the classroom is parallel and symmetry when it comes to both athletics and academics. So we played there. We played some great games, man. You know, like Willie Dean, we played against him and Jakey Thomas. You know, we had them. We had Lionel Chalmers and them up in Glens Falls. You know, him and Quito Delgado. We took them down. You know, so we had some Mikey Grossos. You know, we had some great games, man. Some great experience. It was a beautiful time, man. It was great back 97, 98, man.
Yeah, it was. This area was definitely popping with a lot of talent come out of this area during that time. You know, you played in the fantastic era, no question about it. About it. So your favorite sport when high school was, what would you say? I mean, the sport that you went on to do a little bit better than the other. What sport would you say that would be?
Oh, hands down, that would be football. Football. What football did for me is it changed my life. Right, it gave me the opportunity to provide for my family, as what football did, and I try to get that across in a scaffolding way to my athletes and my clients today. Why football, Coach? Football started out as just a sport and a hobby, and what it did was it changed because it became a business. Football became a business in essence, because now you're talking about university money. You're talking about collegiate athletic money. Through, you know, the different scholarships and programs, even though Union College was a Division III, I decided to stay closer to home during that time. But, you know, it was around $45,000 a year. So mathematically, you're looking at $180K. That kind of money wasn't being made in the household with just my mom, you know, so it was a single mom with 4 boys. So when you look at it, football was, that was my sport. That's what I love the most. I love contact, but along with that, I love the team, the atmosphere that came with football.
Yeah, yeah. So what position did you play in high school?
Oh man, in high school, what position didn't you play in high school, man? So in high school, I was all around, right? I came from inner city Pop Warner as a quarterback, and
Hold on, before you go on, shout out to Inner City Pop Warner, Coach Nelson.
Yeah,
I played there too back in '84,
yeah,
85, 86. So,
yeah.
let's go.
Let's go.
That's right. That's right. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead.
Yeah, roll on it, baby. Roll on
right.
it.
That's right.
So I started out there and played quarterback. And that was in high school. It ended up in my senior year. They needed someone else to play quarterback who wasn't going to get on the field, and they said, hey, Devon, listen, this is what we want from you. We need you to get into the backfield. That opened up another opportunity. It's always great to be a great player, but always even better to be a great teammate, right? To open up the opportunity for other players on your team. And we actually did. We went a great distance there. We went into the sectional playoffs until we ran into Amsterdam back then, who had Joey Ward, and it just wasn't any bringing him down. I think at that time in high school, he was probably around 285, 300, and he was running like fullback. So you weren't stopping that kind of muscularity.
I bet.
At all. Yeah, man. So that was beautiful. So quarterback is what it was, and that left me the opportunity to play tailback. And on defense, I played corner. I picked as a lockdown corner over there. And that was where, most teams looked at me. They looked at the aggressiveness, open field tackling, awareness of the game, that all around facet athlete, robust and well-rounded. So it took that kind of opportunity, coach, up here to Schenectady, New York, where I played 4 years, started for 4 years as a captain, as a two-time captain.
Yeah. So, the way you're talking, man, you're a fabulous all around team player and all that stuff. So talk to me about how that recruitment and how that stuff went. I know you went to Union College, a small D3 school, which is a school that, as far as D3 football, man, is pretty known in the Northeast. You know what I mean?
Right.
You chose them over RPI and a few other schools. So
yeah.
Talk to me how that recruiting went. Talk to me about how that went a little bit. Why'd you pick there instead of Union and some other schools?
Yeah. So, basically what it comes down to like, what's the best fit, coach? What's the best fit for you? I think when it came to all the different recruiting, so it was UNH. They had the kids from Vermont over there looking for me, the kids from RPI over there, Hardwick, all of those schools were looking, vying for Devon Wimberly. And you have to find a place that you feel comfortable. If it isn't comfortable, you're going to find yourself in, whether it's a trimester or a semester, you're going to find yourself home really, really fast if you're not happy. What does it look like? It was real aggressive, coach. A lot of late night phone calls, a lot of, send me some more film, send me this. Why our school and not the other school? A lot of backdoor talking and information to be expected, nonetheless, right? You're looking for a great athlete. So I want to say the recruiting aspect, it's a business, coach. It is really cutthroat. It is really late night phone calls, a lot of meetings and backdoor information. So for myself, I think that Union just fit better for me. It just, like, academically, I knew that I could succeed there. I didn't know what I wanted from RPI, so I didn't know what they had to offer me. Like I said before, not to reiterate, but it's a business, coach. And you have to look at it from that perspective. So Union College, it presented me with the classes that I wanted because I stayed in education. It was great for me as far as, minoring in bio. Like, all of that was good for me. So it kind of fit who I am as a person, right? Coming from a lower income community out in North Albany, right out there off of Pearl Street. And I thought that in my time, I wanted to give back. So I wanted to be a teacher. They had a program there for that, right? They had the Africana studies. I wanted to be more aware of who I was. So it was just a great fit for me.
Yeah. So, okay. So you went on to college and And now in high school is a little different. Now they're only gonna put you in one position. You have to be all around player anymore. So what position did you end up staying with when you went to RPI? I mean Union.
I went to when I was at Union. Yeah, that at Union College I became a defensive back, right? So I was a corner. I came out there in the freshman year. I think the first game was really, really rough. I had one right in my hand, coach, and it went right past, and the kid caught it for like a 40-yard gain. But that never happened again after that. But defensive back is back is what it was. I was an all ECAC all-star over there for 2 years. My second year, everyone knew who I was, so it was kind of tough. You ever had that gift and the curse of great athleticism, and great athletes have that experience that you're so good, then they double team you because they do such a thing like that. It gives the opportunity to a teammate to excel. So that's what happened in that situation. And that was in my sophomore year. Then junior year came along, and they said, hey, they're not even throwing the ball to his side anymore, but we need to use him. So what they did was in a roundabout special kind of strength kind of way is they moved me to strong safety. That places you not directly smack dead in the middle of the field, but it gives you an opportunity to roll up and down depending on where the strength is, right? So when you're looking at different formations in order to see where they are, if they're in trips or if they're wide open and spread, if they're in shotgun or pistol, it gives you that look. And now you get to make the call for the defense on how you're going to roll into it, whether you're in a 4-3 or a 5-2 or whatever. I know people might not even understand that, but what that is, so that's how we played the game.
Okay. All right. Cool. Now you're a two-time captain. Why do you think that was? Why do you think the coaches and the players bestowed that responsibility on you as a not just one time, a two-time captain?
I don't know, man. You know what? No one ever asked. Oh, now you want to be it. Now you want to. Why did they bestow that on you? Oh, man. I see what you just did right there. All right, so I don't know, Coach. Why did they bestow?
That's a big leadership role, right? I mean, that's something
right.
That respected and people really take that serious. You know what I mean? So, and you got your peers too. A lot of times your peers are voting for you for that. That makes it even more, great. You know what I mean? So, talk to me about that.
Yeah, it was an honor, man. It still is today, right? So I wear that with a badge of honor on my sleeve. Let me just jump right back real quick, Coach. Starting at Albany Academy, they went through a military thing, and I graduated, fourth highest with captain of discipline. So if I had any way to try to put this together and scaffold it, I would say that in order to answer the question, it would kind of be who you are in character. So someone who was of discipline. I wasn't really a part of any fraternities. I wasn't, I was just an individual that was focused on something because the end game, right? So the end game was NFL. So it was national football. How do you do such a thing is you stay focused to it. I would say that I never asked that question because I was shocked too. Like you said, it was my peers, and they didn't pick seniors; they picked a junior to be that captain. So yeah, you're right. It was an honor, discipline maybe.
You being a two-time captain, man, it's kind of even, rose to my next question, man. Like, what got you into, going to personal training as a career? As something that you felt you can help other people. What got you into that field?
Well, that one, on the other hand, is like the light switch in my life, right? So what happened is once Union College was over with, I had an opportunity to try out for the New York Giants. And if you take a kid or a person or an athlete, an individual, and for their entire life, they're in a certain realm and in a certain surrounding, and mine was athletics, and mine's more particularly, as we discussed, was football. What happened was you develop a loss of self-awareness of who you are, and you pick up a newer identity, and the identity is you're a football player. What happens is once you get to that level, trying out for the New York Giants, I was cut. That after that point, you take a kid who everywhere he went, from Pop Warner to high school to college, being on such a great level, everyone applauds you, everyone tells you how great you are, and then one day that's gone. Now that's a big, you understand. So how the light switch now I don't know who I am. So I hit this relapse of who I am, an identity crisis as an athlete. Okay, so now you remove football away from me. Now I have to scramble and pick up the pieces. Who am I now? Like, I've only been one, I've only been one individual, coach, and there's no class or a group, a supportive or collective supportive group that says, no, you're not just that, you're something else. You're more than that, right? And I had to find that out on my own. So I lost myself. I lost who I was. And my setback was my setup for my comeback. What happens here is now that happened, now you have to pull it together. Either you man up or you lay down, right, coach? And you have to man up. So what I did was I took that opportunity to say, okay, well, I know how I got beat, and I know what I didn't have that I seen the other guys with, whether it was, top notch speed or just all around. So that's what shouldn't have to happen to everyone. Or, you know what I mean? So I took that responsibility instead of just shutting it all down and saying I'm removing myself from sports and athletics in general. No, let's find a way to help others out, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how, so I use that fuel and that energy to turn up a little bit. So that's how I got into Wimberly athletics and training. And the funny part about it is I had came all the way from University of Rochester's getting my master's, and I came back home. I was developing IEPs, individual educational plans, for CBA over here on 12 Airline Drive, Christian Brothers Academy. And I was working with the kids and the athletes there, and something inside of me was like, you want a little more than this here. So I reached out. I found my way out here at the Niskayuna School District, and had the opportunity of coaching here. And I think that's kind of like when you and I kind of like, bumped into each other about 5 or 6 years ago. And the reason why I say that is because there was a group of women out here who were like, my child talks about you at dinner, and my child talks about going and being in your group during practice. And that was the windfall of, there's something here uniquely different about you, Devon, and you need to tap into that synergy. So it was that environment, that synergy, that I said, let me get on to what it was I had the ideology about, and that was, to train people the way that I believe is, the best fit. So I took some classes in Massachusetts, right? Then you go through the NASMs, you go through the NSPAs, you go through all of these, Hatha restorative yoga, then you go through flexibility, mobility, you start getting certifications, right? You go through the CPR and the first aid classes, and you put this massiveness of, of information together, and you channel and you start to develop and program unique programs and styles of variations of individuals and how to make them successful. So that's how it began. I mean, without being long-winded, I apologize, but that's how that's how it was.
Yeah, great information, man. Do you train all athletes, or are you more sport specific in your training, your Wimberly athletics training?
No, it's across the entire spectrum, coach. Like what we never want to do, right? So what we never want to do is we never want to say that we're just sports specific and we're only funneling in this vision. If you ever took a look at WimberlyAthletics.com, or you went into any of the social medias and just took a look, if it's not about water polo, then it's the 4-year-old on stability, right? On just how to stabilize and balance oneself, right? Through single leg proportions, or how, or the older men who are stiff in the hamstring and the calf muscles, and what you need as far as deep pinning or acupuncture. We discuss those things through the different facets of the body, right? So whether you went through the muscular, the skeletal, the respiratory, you have to delve into it a little bit, that with the clients and the athletes. So no, it's not. It's you can get a personal class if you feel like you want to be private one-on-one with me. And particularly, I would say, coach, about 80% of my clients are one-on-one. They just want me. They just want to work on themselves. So, but we are not, no, we're across the spectrum.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. I'm here with Coach Devon Wimberly,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the owner of Wimberly Athletics. And let's talk more about their program. And tell me, Coach, how do you measure? I mean, I could tell that you do a lot of stuff with your program, and you talk about IEPs. I'm pretty sure you bring that into the focus of what you do. So tell me how you measure your players, your athletes, and your program, and how do they benefit? How do you measure their benefits of them developing in your program? How do you measure that?
So what you do is you take it through you take a baseline, right? So the baseline in general is your assessment of them. You have them work through a form that's just natural. Hey, on the first day, it's like the first day of school. All right, you need this for the library. You need this for lunch. You need, are you with chocolate or white milk? Which one are you? Are you lactose intolerant, right? That's the first meeting. So the first meeting with my clients is just to see who you are. Let's lay out a meter tape, all right? And then from that meter tape, I just want to see you jump. They don't understand that in that jump, I want to see how they land. I want to see what they use mechanically. Are they with a full extension here? Are they using recoiling methods? Are they, what are they doing? I want to baseline you. I want to take it down to the bone, to the skeletal, and see what kind of muscle. Are they slow twitch, fast twitch? How are they adjusting? So it's all about assessment. So what you do is you allow them to be them. Then from there, you say, okay, you ask them the questions. It's all about generating from them the information. You have no information as a coach. You're receiving that information. They need to tell you. It's just like you and I, coach. If we go to the doctor, they have no clue what's wrong with us when we walk in the door. But let's say it's strep throat or laryngitis, right? So when you tell them that, they have a couple of clients they had before with those same symptoms. All right, so my client comes in today and they say to me, coach, all right, I want to work on my son's speed. I want to work on my daughter's quickness. All right, so what part of this are we looking at? Are we looking at it through strength? Are we looking at this through or more through mechanics? How are we assessing what it is you want developed with your child? And we take it from the bare minimum, use it in progression, and take off from there.
Yeah, fabulous stuff. This is a question I ask all the trainers here, and let me see. How do you convey the benefits to an athlete who maybe is being forced by a parent to show up to your program?
Oh, I am full out on the side of the athlete, and relatively not much other than the financials with the parents. So most of my athletes want to be there, and if they don't want to be there after they see that it is different, so my approach to it, coaches, differently. So I would say if you change what it is, so kids today, they want to be athletes but they love to play games. Well, then you should incorporate games into what it is you're trying to get out of it. Okay, so now that I have an 8-year-old that loves to play video games, but their parent is forcing them, all right, so let's set up the entire room in a game-looking fashion. Let's put 4 medicine balls that's 6 and 50 pounds on the side of the room. Now that she's playing resistant weight work that you need, you're looking at the balance and coordination that you need, and they don't even understand. They don't even stand upstairs what they're doing for you or what they're doing in the event of working out or training until you start to begin to spew or use the verbiage or language. So I'm not saying to them, let's get to work. I say, let's play a game. Soon as they hear that, the trigger goes off, the dog with the ball. I want to do that. I play with tennis balls all the time to get my kids to move around, right? But it's that kind of approach that you get at Wimberly Athletics. It's kind of cut a little different. I'm not stacking your son or your daughter up under the rack. That's not what I'm here trying to do. I'm trying to give you another approach that there is over 4,000 different ways to do that with doing that.
Great stuff. Now, real quickly, can you give us a couple names of the athletes that you worked with before, or even currently now, that a lot of people might know of, that came through your program?
Yeah. So where I'm at, you would have in lacrosse out here, you would have Mr. Berman, right? So Berman is the lacrosse player that he's a junior right now, and he received a full ride to Notre Dame, right? So you have him. Yeah. Jakey Thomas is, University of Texas and head coach for Schenectady High School, and he brought his entire basketball team, to Wimberly Athletics, and they went from a year. I don't want to get the numbers wrong, as in to inflate what we do at Wimberly Athletics, but I'm pretty sure the year before they were under double-digit wins and had succumbed that by a tremendous amount. So, so you could look at that. You could look at that as well. Moreover, you would look at kids like my son. You would look at kids like my son, who's Davion, who is number 2 in New York State and the pentathlon, and also one of the top New York, New Jersey defensive backs, and he plays wide receiver. So you have that in him as well. I can't even say, because I didn't get my hands on her, but I almost was able to change someone, but I'm not gonna throw her out like that, right? I'm not going to that.
Yeah.
So that's like, so if you want to say like those names right there that you can say, okay, I can look at this and see that. Then right beneath that, the next tier, the second tier, you have the Lady Outlaws from Latham, right? Then you have the AAU fourth generation. You have Coach Jose Nunez, Coach Mike Bland. You have those guys who call me up, and I work with their teams out in Albany. You could take yourself over to Troy and get back into some more softball. I'm in Troy also for Tajas, which is Troy Albany Hockey Association, and these developmental systems that I use here are used across all of those sports, like you said earlier. Like, is it just generated towards one, or is it across the spectrum? Yeah, across the spectrum.
Oh, cool. Great stuff. Now, you talked about your son. That wasn't one of my questions, but you brought him up. Now, talk to me about your son, man. What grade is he in? And you saying the sport that he played, the triathlon and football. Talk to me more about him. Talk more about that young man.
All right, yeah, man. So that's my little guy, my little peanut. So he is in the 10th grade, going into the 11th right now. And what happens is, we gave him an opportunity to assess and look at school through a business aspect. And where he is right now, he's receiving, letters or pamphlets from Penn State, Auburn. And I'm telling him, listen, man, that's great and all, I'm glad for you pushing that. But remember that this is just an opportunity. So use football to scaffold and climb to where it is you want to be and what you want to do. At the end of the day, he's going to be his own individual. I'm playing. This is about you. So I celebrate, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and work now so you can relax later. So that's the kind of kid I have right now. You tell a kid he great right now, and boy, you can't even get their head through the door. You know how that goes.
No question about that.
Yeah. So
you keeping him grounded is an awesome thing. What school is he going to?
He's at Albany Academy.
Albany Academy. Okay, so we can look out for him next year. All right, awesome stuff. All right, before I forget, real quick, share your social medias and what platforms are you on all the platforms that you're on.
Okay, so that was just a couple of them, right? So it's the Instagram at Wimberly_Devon. Facebook is at Wimberly Athletics. Also, the Twitter one is Devon Wimberly. Very, very simple. You can always get at me as soon as you put in DEVON Wimberly or Wimberly Athletics across the board. I pop right up. It's the orange W. It's the orange W. And it is usually say, you know what I'm saying? Wimberly Athletics and Training. Yeah, you know what it is. Nah, baby, this is all about the kids, baby.
No doubt. That's good stuff. Now, your website, can you say that one more time? I mean, you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, that's WimberlyAthletics.com.
All
Yeah,
right.
so if you hit the website up, Coach, there's a plethora, a variety of different programs that we have out there. So we have the boxer size. So that's on Wednesday nights, 6 to 7, and that's all female. You know, we congratulate and encourage community and commitment to excellence. So we have the boxer size there. We also have the Waking Up with Coach Wimberly. That's at 6 in the morning. Then you also have your personal programs with me. The summers are speed and agility oriented, so you have that as well. You just look out and you're gonna find something for you. I know that's right. I know that's right.
I definitely need to get in there. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Tell me one thing through all this personal training that you're doing, the wonderful job that you're doing, that you learn about yourself doing this for so many years. How many years have you been doing it? But talk to me about, what you learned about yourself.
What I learned about myself is, well, all right, can I approach that from two different views?
Take your time.
My clients, they think I'm crazy because I send them text messages at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning,
Wow.
but I'm up early, right? And so I stay up late and I'm up early. Why? Because I'm always in a book. I'm always trying to figure out a way to manipulate and change a program. So from that aspect, my clients think that I'm crazy. So I would say that for them, and then for myself, what about me is I really love what I do. So what I learned about myself is I will go through a wall to find by any means a way to help someone better. And really, if you allow me this opportunity to spread awareness. So, I get that through Niski now, and we support them heavily. I open up doors and at my place, at my facility, which is Friendship Baptist Church. And there, we give out clothes, we give out food. We're out there with the food mobile from Schenectady. This is just more when I'm saying social, physical, and mental health and awareness. It's more than just walking in my door and it being about you and I. It's about all of us, Coach. So do understand that if you do get on that page, you will see a lot of unilateral community awareness of each other, because we are really all we have. And I just wanted to share that in part two, that Wimberly Athletics, what we do a lot different. If you look on there, we sponsor a lot of different programs through hockey and all of that, Coach. We go hard for everybody, So thank you for allowing me that tidbit right there, man.
No question about it, man. It's awesome stuff, and I appreciate you saying that. I looked at the website very briefly too. You seem like you got a lot of room in your spot, man. Like it's like really spacious. You know what I mean? Talk to me about your not little, but talk about your spot you got.
Right. So yeah, like I had just said, man. So to God be the glory. My church, Friendship Baptist Church, have allowed me an opportunity to do business with them in the community, right? So they've opened up a space for me and allowed me to work in there and do what I do for the people, right? So when you look at it, Coach, it's the idea that iron sharpens iron, man. When you look at that space, there is in this community, there's a restaurant called Maria's Cafe, and we work hand in hand with Maria down there. And what we do there is we create meals. That's the nutrition side of it. A lot of our kids can go to the corner store, right, and get the bag of chips that's processed, or get the slushy or the ice cream, and all of that is already prepackaged and already ordained to do something, something just messed up to the body. And what we do is we have a class there where you sit down and we show you with $2 or $3 with lettuce, tomato, what, you know, how that comes up. And it's simply a lot less, a lot cheaper. And if you want to, we'll show you by passing out bags of seeds, and we could put this in the pot and do this together. You understand what I'm saying? So it was hand in hand and scaffolding. And, you know, so they've allowed me the opportunity, Friendship Baptist Church with Pastor William Lynn Hamilton allowed me an opportunity to grow this Wimberly brand into into what it is today. But you have to understand, it's all through selflessness, like giving more of yourself to the people in order for it to breathe life into the situation, into what it is today. So I'm humbled at that end.
That's awesome, man. I can't say enough. I'm gonna have to change your name of your company, man. Call it the One Stop Shop Athletics. That's what I call it. I mean, really, man. You got the dietary, you got the physical stuff. I mean, you got the social emotional stuff going on. I mean, come on, man. The mental health going on. I mean, you got a lot going on over there. You know what I mean? So
that's what it's about.
Kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. It's been fabulous talking with you, man. It's fabulous talking with you, man. I'm here with Devon Wimberly of Wimberly Athletics. He's doing a wonderful job over there, man. A two-time captain at Union Football, is representing for the community, man. He's from Albany. He's from the inner city of Albany, right downtown, and glad to see that he's giving back, coming back, and doing all he can to make this world a better and safer place, man, with nutrition and with healthy living, man. I really do appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom and sharing your plight and sharing what you do for the community, man.
Thank you for this opportunity. To God be the glory. Thank you, Coach Danzy, for stopping in and seeing us, man. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for shouting us out.
No doubt, no doubt. And I'll see you soon, all right? All right, this is Coach Danzy. We're signing off. Now I'm here with Devon Wimberly of Wimberly Athletics, and it's been a pleasure dealing with him today and talking with him and conversating about a lot of this good stuff, man. So we'll see you guys next time.